Hi everybody and welcome to Get Indie Gaming, where today we're carrying on with our Kickstarter indie game run-through and looking at 5 of the most promising games seeking funding via the platform. Let's begin this March edition with Phantom Halls, a procedurally generated haunted house game that's already out in early access, although the developers have come to the platform for a last round of funding before the intended aim of a Halloween 2018 full release date. Available to play in both single player and co-op, Phantom Halls sees you move through a spooky old house where the horrors and frights are different each time. The devs are calling it a game that's very much like a real-time Worms with the chaos of Spelunky, and they're looking for just over $41,000 to help deliver the last bits and pieces before launch. Longer term goals for the game include customization, additional differentiated rooms and unique abilities for each character, plus also the addition of more characters as time goes by. The starting tier of $7 includes a shout out in the credits, whereas $21 gets you a Steam key, all the way up to somewhere near $950 where you can meet the developers, get your likeness featured in the game and an awful lot more. Finishing April 13th, as we stand today, there's some way for this to go, although there's plenty time for this to pick up a wider base of support. Up now, Big Drunk Satanic Massacre, perhaps ultimately and unfortunately shortened to BDSM, sees you play this action RPG as Lou, the son of Satan, and a chap who's particularly fond of alcohol and womanizing as you join his quest to find the mistress, who by all accounts is the hottest demoness in hell, who's held captive by a not-so-scary looking clown. Taking a look at the trailer and gameplay, you're not wrong to think this one has elements of Diablo as you hack and slash your way through countless enemies, and monsters as you go about your business in the underworld. Levels include a fast food-inspired cafe, the Back Whack, the Skeleton Sums, and the Red Light District. At the end of each section, you've a boss to see off, which, like every foe in the game, can be vested with your weapons and magic. In a first for us here in this series, as we press upload on this video, the game's funding campaign has been suspended by the mods at Kickstarter, with the devs thus far saying such a suspension has come out of nowhere, with perhaps a nod towards the game overstepping the mark from a content naming convention. Perhaps, as we suggested earlier, shortening the game's name to BDSM wasn't the wisest of choices to go with. We understand if the campaign remains frozen, the team will look for an alternative platform, and we wish them all the best of luck with this in the future.
Lords of darkness, unholy princes in high places, hear us now and grant us.
Looking for $95,000 with a campaign that ends April 18th, our third place for March, One Night, is an 80s-inspired horror fantasy action RPG set within a small American town during the iconic times of the 1980s. It's a classic coming-of-age tale where you take control of John, while his adventure takes him on an hour-by-hour experience of what might become the last day of the world. You'll be able to choose your in-game class from one of 9 options that in turn allow further customization depending on how you wish to develop your skill tree. Each skill tree has 3 branches, with each branch holding 10 talents, so there's plenty options available within your character's development. On the look and feel side of things, the pixel art, while not everybody's cup of tea, looks well crafted, accurate, and offers a sense of dread and foreboding that seems highly appropriate for a game where you're up against the evil undead, werewolves, biolords, and even the odd shrieking hag. Expected late this year or early next year, if horror and action RPGs are your thing, One Night seems full of promise. Already exceptionally well funded past its aims, having reached its $450,000 target in 36 hours, Iron Harvest is looking a rather impressive spectacle. Sharing the same world and lore as the critically acclaimed board game Scythe, this real-time diesel punk mech strategy game looks to have drawn from the classic RTS offerings with a modern camera viewpoint. With Iron Harvest, we're experiencing an alternative 1920s reality, with the title being a reference to the period soon after World War I when when farmers were discovering leftover munitions from the Great War, and it's with these munitions you're looking to harvest in order to earn a fortune by doing so. From a gameplay angle, King Art Games suggest Company of Heroes and Men at War are the main inspirations for Iron Harvest, where you'll lead hero characters, mechs, and soldiers into epic battles in open sandbox maps. Cover mechanics and dynamic destruction will also play a major role in combat, where the action looks tight and focused on small number of combat units rather than a larger scale. On the face of things, there doesn't appear to be too much in the way of base building going on here too. Age of Empires this certainly isn't. Unlike many other campaigns, the team here behind the game have said if they reach all of their stretch goals, which go up to $1.5 million, no further features shall be announced, stating by doing so you make the work behind the development even harder and harder. They'd rather focus on delivering upon the promises with free add-on DLCs at a later date. The campaign ends April 13th with no doubt what will be a handsome amount of cash to take the project forward. The delivery timeline is late 2019, with the game coming on the Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. At the top of the pile for March, Tala is a charming looking point-and-click adventure puzzle game that looks to blend photographic background images with beautifully hand-drawn sketches. In Tala, you take control of a wee little tree spirit who lives within a small woodland town where toadstools and other things such as rocks are used for housing. The game will see you set out upon a quest to rescue the town's guardian from a spooky-sounding place known as the Deep Woods. The UI is very easy to understand and uses non-verbal systems similar to other adventures of this type. We found the little demo a rather enjoyable experience. It's fun, subtle, and cleverly done, and easily managed to put a wide smile across our faces as we played. Looking for somewhere in the region of $13,000 US, rewards include your name in the credits, a digital download of the game, art prints, and right up to $550 that will see your likeness or that of a loved one added to the game as an NPC. Tala's funding round finishes on April 11th, and as this video airs, the team are a quarter of the way there. Tala's expected to launch at some point next year, although as we said earlier, players are able to get a taste of the game in a demo that's available to play now. With Tala's interesting take on merging hand-drawn animations with photo images, that pretty much concludes our March indie game Kickstarter overview. We're always interested to see if you're planning on following or perhaps even backing any of these games with your hard-earned cash, so please be sure to let us know in the usual sections. We're nearly through the first quarter of the year, and so far it's been an amazing start. By the looks of it, there's plenty more to come as we move into April and beyond. Many thanks for watching, and hope to see you here again soon for more videos.